Good evening. Today we're having polpette, the Italian answer to Swedish meatballs. And we're making them in tomato sauce. For that, we need good olive oil, grated parmesan, pepper, nutmeg, salt, eggs, breadcrumbs. I have the coarse breadcrumbs here, capers, chopped garlic, chopped onions, ground beef, that's parsley, and tomato sauce. When done well, one of my absolute favorite dishes in Italy. Polpette can be really, really delicious. They're usually served with spaghetti or just with bread for dipping. They're excellent either way. How do we start? I've got some ground beef here. Honestly, if I'm being completely honest with you, I would use ground veal if my butcher hadn't been so unfriendly and wouldn't grind any veal for me. I have no idea why. And he only had such lean veal there. That's why I didn't grind it myself, because for polpette we need a bit of fat. Yeah, that's why I used ground beef with a bit of fat in it. If you have a good butcher who's a bit nicer, just have them grind some fattier veal, then they'll turn out even a bit better. Okay, let's get started. Capers aren't traditionally included, but I really like to add them. If you don't like them, just leave them out. Just chop them up a bit. That's enough. You can also add a sardine. Yeah, you can also put cheese in there if you want, a different kind of cheese. You don't have to take everything so seriously. Traditionally, it's probably without capers, but I'm sure I'll be corrected somehow. Add capers. Then a good splash of olive oil into the pan. Then we put the onions in first. While those are sizzling, we can already add the eggs to the ground meat mixture. I'd say for this amount, 4 eggs are probably enough. Then we add the parmesan. That's quite a lot of parmesan, and that's exactly the trick. Put a good amount of parmesan in there. That's why they're so delicious. Now we add a bit of nutmeg. That's very important for the flavor. Then I add parsley. You could just as well add a bit of thyme, add a bit of oregano, whatever you like. I'm using parsley now. Lastly, we add the garlic. Always let the garlic saute for just a short time. I'm sure you all already know that. It gets very bitter and tastes really, really strange. I've already ordered this dal soup a few times at the Indian restaurant. When I order Indian food, I really like to eat it. The last 2 times it tasted so much like burnt garlic that I couldn't eat it. You couldn't taste anything else in the whole soup, so really be careful with the garlic. Just let it become fragrant. Yeah. And then you can already add it in here. Don't let the garlic turn brown. Quickly tidied up, now we'll add some salt. The rule is about 20 grams per kilo. Just so you've heard it once, if you have trouble, especially with ground meat mixtures like this, there are many people who don't want to taste it then. I don't really have a problem with that. I also taste the raw ground meat mixture just to see if it's well seasoned. But if you want to weigh it, and if you have a fine scale at home that measures in grams, then you can just use 10 grams. Weigh it for half a kilo, and that's fine. Now we're going to add some of the panko here. The reason for this is simply that we need to draw the moisture from the eggs out of the mixture. And now we're going to mix everything together with our hands. If you have a coarser type of breadcrumb like I do, this panko stuff, then add it in and let the mixture sit for a short while, because this stuff absorbs moisture. If you feel the mixture is still just a little too moist, because I'd say subjectively that it is, but if I wait a moment, then the mixture, then the breadcrumbs will absorb the moisture from the eggs, and then it's perfect. Okay, my dears, now comes the slightly thankless task, rolling the polpette. In Italy, you usually get them about this size. These are the classic Italian polpette. For me, they're a bit too big, and today I don't want to be so lazy. That's why I'm reducing their size. about this size at most. Then roll them in breadcrumbs once more when you're done. And that's how I roll all of them now. Of course, I don't want to put you through that now. Watching me do it, I'll finish this quickly and then show you right away. The hard work is done. As you can see, I ended up with a few pieces. You can never make enough of these. Then you've got 2 or 3 meals covered. And now heat up a pan, pour in a good splash of olive oil. And now I always like to add a sprig of rosemary in there. Now we put the polpette in there. The sprig of rosemary is just to give the oil a bit of flavor. I don't want too much of it in there. And now you have to move them. Yes. A little bit. They should roll around a bit in there so they get seared on all sides. I'll finish this up quickly now. It takes about 6 or 7 minutes per pan until they're nicely seared and crispy. We'll look at them right away and put them in the pan, and then I'll show you. We're done. All I can tell you is they taste excellent just like this. I just snacked on one myself. There. Now we put them all in the pan. A high-sided pan like this is of course perfect for that. That's already a lot. And now fill it up with the sauce. I'll add a good splash of water in here. I'll rinse it out thoroughly once more. I'm already so excited. I love these things, really. They're fantastic. This almost makes regular meat patties obsolete, especially with this cheese inside. That gives such an intense flavor. Yeah, and now we let the whole thing simmer. Half an hour on low heat, so it can bubble away a little bit. Let it cook down into a delicious sugo. I'll show you in a moment, my dears. Half an hour later, they've simmered beautifully now. I quickly made some spaghetti to go with it, so we have a nice dish, but you can also enjoy it perfectly with just some nice white bread. Just put it on the plate, add some toasted white bread, rub a bit of garlic on it, and then add the meatballs. Excellent. I'll try another one of you. I can't say I haven't already tried enough, because I ate them all. I'm dipping them into the sauce here, so they get nice and saucy. One of my absolute favorite dishes, really, when they're cooked like this. Try the recipe. Cook it yourself. And if you don't like it, you can take it up with me because it tastes fantastic. Enjoy your meal. See you next week, my dears. Like, comment, and so on. You know all that already. But really do it sometime so we get more clicks. And now see you next week. Bye. See you.